Today was supposed to be a really good day, but instead we're having Snowmageddon. So we came over to get the bus, got it fired up. Now we've got a semi that's stuck across the street. So me and Steve are gonna hurry and get it pulled out. Then we're coming back, try to get this bus out. We've got to get this back to the shop. We have so much stuff to do, but it might just be a day of snow plowing and dealing with stuck vehicles. We'll see. Not a bad way to start our first little bit of Snowmageddon. All right, so me and Steve just got that semi pulled out. Went pretty straightforward, just hooked up, pulled it right out. Didn't even have to bump it. But now we got the fun task of getting this bus out. It is freezing cold and there's a lot of snow. So we're gonna try it. If we get stuck, we got a tow truck. That wasn't even that cool, but we got it out. So let's get back to the shop. We've got a lot to do in the warmth. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. So we just got back inside from Snowmageddon. Got a bunch of snow moved, helped a semi out, got the OnX Off-Road bus over here. Oh, speaking of, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, OnX Off-Road, for sponsoring this video. So I'll talk to you guys about that later, but we got a cool deal for you guys. So anyway, Hillbilly's over working on the death trap, or whatever you want to call that thing. Mean machine. Oh, the mean machine.
Bronc turd.
The Bronc turd. So I'm gonna be working on getting Whiskers to start. So it was really, really dumb to start working on this in the midst of winter. So I'm gonna get the connectors on, and I'm hoping to get this thing to start today, but we can only work till 5 today because I am leaving on a little bit of a trip. So we'll get as much as we can done. Hopefully we can get it enough that we can start it. And while I'm gone, maybe the guys can do a little bit of work on it.
A little bit of work on it or a little bit of play with it?
Well, I don't know. All I know is that the roof is bare metal and it can't be pulled out of the shop with the bare metal.
Hey, I got a canvas tarp that was on the Bronx tire. We could cover the top of the canvas tarp.
I doubt it. Doubt it's gonna happen. My plan was to do a full new wiring harness, but given the amount of snow we've been getting and the amount of snow recoveries that we've been taking Fred on, we need to get our snowcat going. So I'm just gonna put new ends on these, fix some wires that I can see that are bad, and get this thing fired back up. We'll redo the wiring maybe in the summertime. Maybe that's the best time to start working on your snowcat, is when you don't need it. Billy just giggled.
You say that now, but come summertime we'll have other projects and then this will put back on the back burner again.
Please don't tell them. Trying to convince them that we'll get something finished, okay? I'll just preheat the cast iron before I weld. And then once I get it welded, then I'll take the torch and heat it up again to help release the pressure in that one spot. So I'm starting to get a little bit carried away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna snip all these off, and I'm just gonna do the task at hand, and that is putting a new connector on this. Otherwise, I'm gonna start tracing wires, wanting to do what I'm not gonna do. So we're gonna start out by doing this one. Now, I do need to get my head unit, figure out which end goes here. I just don't wanna get too carried away and get in trouble. All right, I have 72 more hours of cutting wires, putting ends, heat shrinking, figuring out colors, figuring out where wires go. So I'm gonna take you guys along with me. All right, the first strand, getting put in. Okay, now I'll be able to go, I'll leave this. This gives me my direction so that I can go and remake this right here. It's gonna be my new plug. Luckily, these are all different colors. Oop, that one's a little bit too long. So I'm here just getting all my terminations on, and then we'll shove them in the plug. So I've got to dig this sill out. That wire's just a little bit too big for the hole. I've got to stretch it in. Oops, here goes that locking nut. Doing?
I was releasing the energy in the cast iron because that's what causes it to crack when you weld it, is all the energy goes into that one spot, and so when it starts to cool off, it tries to expand and crack. So you heat it up after you weld it. So you preheat it, you weld it, then you heat it up after, and that helps release the pressure through the whole unit instead of right there focused in that one spot. So now that all the cast iron's welded, I'm gonna go through and weld all the steel out. You don't have to preheat.
Well, that was a lot more work than I planned on, but slowly I'm getting it to work. So I've just got to get this keeper in, and I'll have this top or this plug finished up. Owie! That really hurt me, Charlie. Owie! I need maybe this.
Okay, since I got all the high stair kit all welded on, and it's still, you can see, smoking. So I got this tacked on. I have to cut the tacks and kind of clock it down because the arm was kind of on an angle. And Robby was saying that, not for sure, but he thinks it needs to be straight. We have no idea. This is our first first full hydro steer that we've ever installed or used or seen this close. So we're trying to figure it out. So I just got to finish cutting these tacks and then get it clocked down a little bit. I'll put the tacks in the worst spot ever.
Can't cut them, wiggle until they break.
Is that going to happen anytime soon before lunch?
It's going. It's like a tooth. You look cool.
I don't think it's moving. I'm going to try the hammer again. I think the hammer will budget now.
It's like a tooth.
Got it.
Got it.
So I'll try and grind those welds up, or grind the tacks up to make it smooth again, and then we'll reinstall it and measure this time. So line up the center marks with each other. What's centered now?
Well, it was off.
That's closer.
Do you want the clamp? Because I don't think...
I have to cut a little bit more off that center one. It's not quite there. Now let's check it for the last final time, hopefully. I'll trim a little bit off that one now. Getting very, very close. Okay, I got it closer to center. So now we just gotta let these cool down, which is very hot. So while they cool down, it's that time for lunch. So we'll be heading to lunch.
All right, so I want to thank today's sponsor, OnX Maps, for sponsoring this video. Now, you might wonder what we're doing in front of a school bus. Well, let me talk to you about that. In a couple of videos ago, we went up north and we bought this cool bus. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be completely upfitting this thing, 4-wheel drive, painting it, putting an awesome wrap. We're going to be putting solar panels. We're going to be putting a winch, a front bumper, all sorts of stuff, putting an ice cream window in the side. And OnX Maps is going to be taking this around to events. We're going to be utilizing our elite partners to upfit this awesome bus. So it's enough about the bus. What I'm here to talk to you about is OnX Maps. OnX Maps keeps you safe. OnX Maps has over 10,000 blue marked trails to keep you safe while you're in the mountains and you're recreating, whether you're down at Sand Hollow, whether you're up Ephraim Canyon, whether you're stuck up Hanging Tree. You've got OnX Maps to keep you safe. They have so many different options and features. They have tracking ability. They have everything that you need while you're out in the mountains, even while you're on the streets. Now, I've got a super awesome deal for you guys. So if you sign up today, using the link in the description below, you are going to get yourself an awesome OnX Off-Road beanie. This is like a $150,000 offer for free, okay? They have like 50 of these, and once they're gone, they're gone. Not only are you gonna get this amazing beanie, if you sign up today using the link in the description below, you're gonna get your name handwritten on my tailgate, right here on my tailgate. There's room for 50 more. Make sure you click that link in the description below, get yourself an elite membership to OnX Maps, get yourself an awesome beanie, get your name handwritten on my truck. All the cool kids are doing it.
I did it. You should too.
I'm gonna do it.
You are? Here you go.
And I've wore this. It's good.
Colton got his free beanie. You should too.
Okay.
What happened?
I busted myself in the lip.
He wasn't at work though. Wasn't anything to do with this. Maybe he'll have to tell you.
I was pulling my steering wheel off my Toyota, off the Trekker, and BAM! With everything I had.
Teeth are good though.
Yeah, I made sure of that real quick. But
Hey, anyways.
this space right here was the right spacing we needed with the Heim joint, but there was a problem. It put the Heim joint at the top and we want it in the center. So that means we need half this. Ran to Tractor Supply. They didn't have no thinner ones, but they had collars, race collars, that is pretty darn close to half. So we'll get those to work. So it's just a hair thicker than a Snicker. thicker than half. So I'm just gonna take the belt grinder and gently take a little bit off. Got it grinding down a little bit. Like I said, I didn't need to take much off, so it's time to test fit to see. I'll make sure the grinding spot goes on the bottom against this the plate. And looks like I might have to take a hair more off. Eat a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Test fit number 2. Like it was meant to be. Hide that and Robbie will never know that it was even a collar. Put those in there. Bam! Pretty neat that is. Okay, I'm gonna get the other side done so I can get the heim joint put in place. That way we can put the hydraulic ram in place and get the bracket clocked where we want it and tack back on.
All right, so I made a mistake again, as always. And I cut these wires before I double checked and triple checked and made sure where they go. So I have 2 red wires. Luckily, I took a picture. And there is a red dot on this wire right here. So I saved myself. There's a black dot on this red wire, not a red dot on this black wire. So I didn't screw it up, but I almost did. I just about made a mistake. So I gotta double check my wires, so I'm just gonna hurry and pull them apart.
Okay, now I got it to where it's straight. So now I want to tack this bracket a few more times, pull the ram off, and then fully burn it in, front and back, all the braces. Make sure that thing doesn't go anywhere.
So when this is done, then what?
Then coolant.
Knuckles, wheels, lines, steering gear, everything else.
So not coolant.
Coolant sounded a lot closer to being done.
Your lip sure looks pretty today. What you do?
That right there is what happens when you suck all the air out of a glass Coke bottle. Sucks your lip in there and makes it go flat or fat.
That's what happens when you talk back to your wife at home during lunch.
Or a steering wheel doesn't want to play nice. So I got the 2 outer, I don't know what they're actually called. I'm calling them threaded plates. There are these plates right here that's threaded so you can thread the Allen head into it to hold everything, the ram in place. I got the 2 outer ones tacked in place. I'm going to tack these 2 inner ones where they are right there where it's supposed to be. Pull it off and then fully weld it.
Hillbilly, I'm one size bigger. I'm one size too small, so I'm getting my nut certs put in so we can get this head unit installed. I have 2 wires that I'm concerned about not knowing where it goes. Actually, 1 wire. This one right here. I'm not totally sure what it goes to.
Like
And it looks like I've cut it. It goes down there by there, but then it goes into the harness. But I'm wondering if maybe it's a ground. So I don't know. Because I have a wire cut up there, but I feel like that's for the light. 1 more size bigger. Okay. All right, that's the right size.
Okay, so I got the hydraulic ram mounting plate all welded, the threaded plates welded to the plate. So now, while that's cooling off, we're gonna get the knuckles built, axle shafts and all that, to where all we have to do is throw the tires on when we're to that point. So I'll start assembling, knuckles.
All right, we'll get these installed. Get that head unit on. Let's see if this thing will start. I do have a few connections up here that have got to be done, but we're pretty dang close. Got it. So Colton's grabbing me some bolts, and we'll have that ready. So I think I'm to a point where I can. I'm just not gonna talk.
What?
I think I'm to a point where I can put the head unit in.
You ready to toss?
I'm not telling you. We'll see if we have a fiery death or if it starts.
If it starts on fire, then we'll just have to buy a new one.
Yeah, I'm about to the point where I want to do it anyways. Okay, now the wires that run the engine are right here. So we are going to try And plug them in, plug them in.
You sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
You sure?
You sure about that?
Wait, will there only be fire when some...
It'll just smoke.
Yeah.
Or blow the fuses then. It'll do something fun.
Wait, if it starts and you're done wiring?
Well, if it starts, then we don't have to try to get it to start, because it starts. All right, I need some electrical tape. We're gonna do some preventative wiring. Oh, got it.
Got the cloth?
De Boss took care of it. Did you order those monster valves?
Yeah.
You're amazing. You're my new... Colton is my new parts orderer. I can tell him I need something, and bam! He does it. It's the most amazing thing in the world. Like, hey, do this. No problem. What I'm probably gonna do though is make it to where this connector will go down through that grommet and put it underneath. But for the time being, let's see if we can burn this thing to the ground. Oh, I got one more wire. Hold on. Got purple nurple here. Are you ready for this?
Any
Okay.
signs of smoke or sound? We got juice. We got time.
I swear if this works like the first try.
Dude, put down yourself.
look at that.
You're,
Volts come right on.
yeah, you did exactly what you knew you were doing.
Look, all the gauges come on. Fuel works. Dude, did the fuel work before?
It was very come and go.
It is very strong. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Oh no.
What's this wire for?
that.
To make is that coil wire?
No, but I don't remember what it was for. Goes to the back. That is Markians working. Well, that's a lot of dust.
Yeah.
Hey, I did something right. First try even. Look at that. Nothing is blowing up. Nothing's getting hot. Wires feel good. Now we got to figure out what this wire and this wire do. Can we power probe them?
That one.
It doubles back into the harness. Should we, hey, grab the power probe.
Okay, I can grab my ohm meter and put it on the continuity where it makes a noise fit.
If you could go ahead and just get the power probe, that's fine too.
I won't find y'all.
It's literally peekabooing out of your beard. She's alive! It's alive! Cool. Nothing works. Everything's
Hey.
disconnected.
It has a gurgling noise to it.
Oh, the exhaust is off. I forgot about that. So I don't know what these wires are, but we've got to be finding out. I'm grounding them, it's doing nothing. Take it off. All right, well, I don't know what they are. To be quite frank, I don't care. Trans temp's working, oil pressure's working, amps are reading, water temp is reading, dip temp is reading, fuel is reading. Come on, can we get a? Can I get a good job? Good job. For everybody that scalded me and said I should have called Chad. Chad runs a full-time business. Chad is a very good guy. Chad would have came and helped, but I also respect Chad's time, and so I did it myself.
I am resurfacing my rotors or calipers.
Wait till the internet gets a hold of you for that one.
I've done it multiple times, even done it for stuff of yours.
Yeah, well, that's not the right way.
No, but it's not the wrong way either because it still works. Like a flywheel on the Charger.
All right, so I'm just gonna one by one go through this and assemble all of my wiring connectors. So this one will be done. Just gotta put this little center pin thingy in. What this does is it's a lock. And then you just take this and you shove it till it clicks, you double check it, and done. So now we've got that harness done. That's the headlight. So what I want to do, so I'm gonna do this one next. That's just a one. That one stays here because that's for the headlights. And then I'm gonna do this massive plug. This massive plug right here is actually what plugs into this. So we're gonna make the new one. Now, I color coordinated. I did exactly what this is. So I can just cut these off and put them into the new, I'll put new ends on them, and I'll put them right into the other connectors, and then boom. Look at how much sleeker that is. It's gonna be so nice. And that's our tail lights, and that's our wiper switches, and everything else But what my goal is now is to get this done, and then I'd like to try to at least wire my headlights. And then while I'm gone, I'm gonna have Hillbilly and Colton working on the roof and doing a few other odds and ends so that when we get back, if we get a call, we can take Whiskers on the mountain. All right, we got this one in and done. Now we just need to get the rubber seal that goes on it. There it is. So every one of these are weather packs. So they've all got rubber seals. That one is done. So now we just got our big main one. So I'll get that all cut apart and we'll get changing it out. All right, so I'm just getting all the stuff that I need for my 8-way plug. So go check out what Hillbilly and Demery are up to, because it doesn't sound like they're up to any good. What are you up to? What? You got a
Hungry.
snow cone? What are you guys doing?
Cooling this down quicker.
He had water. And I was like, why don't you just go get snow?
Burning snow on the last one.
It's not even melting.
You know what it is?
I think it's good.
Maybe we should put a little bit of that snow on your lip to make it go down.
What are you doing?
Kissing the snow.
Trying to get rid of my fat lip that you guys been making fun of me for. Do you think I should put some food oil inside the threads on that?
Yeah, most definitely put some food grade
Anti-seize?
anti-seize.
Okay. Just like painting a picture.
Oh, look at there. Little snow laying up here on his fence. And you can just make all kinds of little things.
Time to install the ram for probably the last time. Tighten those up, tighten those up. And then that portion of the whole steering will be done. We just gotta plumb everything and do the tie rod ends tight. Now remove this, or remove the heim joint here, tighten that Allen bolt in so we don't have a gap, and do that on both sides. Steering's getting closer to being complete.
Okay, the rear heater just came on. Hillbilly, the rear heater is working, but remember it burned up on us.
Only one side burned up.
Can you come look at the defrost, see if I've got it unplugged? My defrost is not turning on.
There it goes. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Yep, that's it.
I think you got that backwards.
no.
All the way out should be high, low, or high, halfway should be low.
That's fine. I've got that one backwards. This is the headlamp switch. That's supposed to be the backup light switch.
It turned on.
Yeah, but now look at the back. See if there's lights that come on.
No, nothing.
How about here?
Yeah. Off, on.
Okay. Okay, so the defroster is working. The rear that started on fire is working. Did I have a high beam switch somewhere?
I believe so.
All right, so I just figured out the high beam is black, low beam is green, and then we've got our ground right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little wiring harness to go to our headlights.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the headlights. So I went ahead and undid the 2 nuts underneath. Now we can remove them, and Robby is looking for the size of wire that he wants to use. We'll get these bad boys wired up.
All right, so I have a wiring diagram here. So I've got 4 wires. I've got my ground, I've got high beam, I've got low beam that's gonna be black, and I've got red that's gonna be my amber switched power. This is gonna go into my S-Pod. These are gonna go into the factory wiring because I'm running this as a headlight, as a main headlight. So anyway, here's my Deutsch style connectors. I'm gonna pin it, and we're gonna move on. So Baja Designs made this super slick. My ground is pin number 2. Pin number 1 is going to be my low beam. Now, did we remember which one in here is low beam? Black is low
high,
beam.
green is low.
Low beam is pin number 1, so right there. And what I'm going to do to make sure this thing is watertight, we are going to encapsulate it in a loom. So we're going to loom this, and then we're going to heat shrink it. But this red is going to stay long. These are going to be shortened. We're going to move on to the next. This is like boondoggle.
Can we do boondoggle?
Yeah. So there's my baby harness. So now, before I move on, I'm gonna get another red wire, and I'm gonna make one more just like that.
That thing would have been the perfect boondoggle holder.
If I would have had this for the Boondoggle Woggle Club, I'd have been able to sell so much more. I used to run the Boondoggle Woggle Club when I was in 5th grade.
What is that?
It was my first business. I was peddling boondoggle in Mr. Child's 5th grade class.
Remember.
Wait, you don't know?
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to sell it out of the treehouse.
Hillbilly, you know what boondoggle is?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
If anyone out there knows what boondoggle is, Hillbilly has no clue. So
Hey,
send him some.
support your local Boondoggle Woggle Club.
And then if you send it, figure out the instructions how to do it. We won't tell him and see if he can figure it out.
Do you know what boondoggle is?
That's those keychains that have the plastic rubber strings that you fold it and crisscross, do squares, circles.
I used to
you know how to
be
do
the king. All right, cut our other side. Now, I'll make my terminations in a minute. I want to get, actually, I'll hurry and do those real quick. So I'm going to put this exact same connector on these sides. So I'll hurry and put all my terminations on. And then what we're going to do is we got to build the harness, put the loom, heat shrink it, shove it through, and then pin it because there's a little baby tiny hole that the wires have to go through.
Make sure that the high steer clears with the 17s.
These baby 22s?
Hello, baby 20s. Ready?
I think these were supposed to go on my squid.
How's it going?
Is that all the way on? Hold up. You got this jack on. Okay, you're good.
That's all the way.
Oh yeah, you're golden, dude.
Just barely, or you got a couple inches?
Like inch. Because that's close, but look, that's only the...
Yeah, it's just as close as what this was.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a bungee cord here?
Holding it together. Robbie told me, do not weld the tie rod bungs, that he will do that.
Because we have to do them offset because you didn't center your ram.
Yeah, I did.
No, your ram is not centered on the axle.
It's not centered.
It is not centered side to side. It's centered up and down. All right, I'm gonna have to get me some more heat shrink because I've used it all on my wire loom. But we're getting this loomed up, getting it looking good, getting our terminations all super nice. So this one's gonna stay tight. We've got our loom right there. Actually, I want to draw it back a little. Right there, we'll heat gun it. All right, and here we have a custom Robby Layton wiring harness for my LP6 Baja Design headlights. I'm gonna put these into a 4-way Deutsch connection plug. I'll just put my S-Pod power into this pin inside the cab, so I don't have a wire that's just running to La La Land. We'll shove them through here, and that is in. So Colton's gonna work on getting the headlights back on, and then I'm gonna terminate them on the inside, and we're gonna get these lights turned on.
Okay, well, so these have 2 bolts in them, and I'm assuming that way so they can't spin all the way around, but they still, if you want the one, you can adjust it just about that much.
Bada bing! We just see, whoa! All right, there's my wiring. I'm just getting these put in. Did we determine that black was going to be low beam?
Black is high, green's low.
So timeout then on there. I gotta switch these around. I gotta make my ground a little bit longer. Then we'll be ready to make these lights turn on.
So white spin grounders. White spin or grounds just spin all different colors.
Everything's different colors, but this one is gonna be white.
Is it plugged in right?
I guess we'll find out, won't we? Everybody ready?
Yeah. How come only one works? Only one's turning on. Only one's turning on.
Because he's in front of it. They both work.
They both work. I was standing in front of it, messing with you. Flip it. Either have lows or just highs because it's not changing. It's just off and on.
I know what it is.
Wiring in the back of the panel.
No, it switches. So instead of,
We have a new headlight switch.
so what we'll do is we'll wire one of these into the S-Pod. And then it'll turn it all on. Because right now it's switching 12 volt from this to this and it's shutting it off. So all we're doing is we're just switching. Hey, it's a Christmas miracle. I accomplished something of my own. The walls are freaking bright though. Imagine having we're gonna need that higher amperage alternator.
Well, no, because LEDs don't take much power or amps
We're
to run.
gonna need another alternator. This thing is, look at the flicker. It's not producing enough amps. We need a better alternator, especially if we're throwing a winch on this and if we're gonna do all the lights around it. We might even need an auxiliary battery. Plug this in.
Got a burnt fuse.
That's what I was thinking.
So
Wait.
Is it?
yeah, of the fuse.
Red wire.
We need a 30 amp.
Colton broke our lights.
And then hook it up real quick.
I couldn't tell from out there, but it looked like there's another one burnt too.
Could be. We might just be having to run it through the S-Pod, because that'll have its own set of fuses, and I think this headlight switch is just garbage.
You got that new one, if you want to put it in.
All right, so we achieved our goal. We got Bombi started, and we've got the headlights working. We may have burned up the headlight switch. That doesn't matter because we have an S-Pod that we're gonna be hooking up the headlights to and all of our lighting, so it's gonna be okay. We don't have to figure that out today, but make sure you guys click that link in the description. Go get yourself an awesome beanie, just like Hillbilly.
Just like Robby.
Get your name written on the tailgate of my truck, and stay safe with OnX Maps. So, as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.